YouTube! Welcome back to the #1 ban list channel on the tubers. Now, I'm not trying to flex too hard or anything, but if you've seen historically over the last couple of years, my ban list predictions have accrued an 87% success rate with regards to the bans and limitations, and when it comes to semi-limits and unlimits, I have been about 47% accurate. That last one sounds pretty bad, but when other YouTubers are averaging about a 26% success rate, I think almost half is very respectable. Now, I'm not saying you need to watch this video because it's the best Team Samurai X1 best, but this is a pretty accurate prediction. I'm just saying, if you've been really enjoying my content recently, then consider subscribing on Patreon or watching my Twitch streams Monday and Wednesday to Saturday, 2 p.m. UK, 11 a.m. EST every single week. Alright, I'm sure you're wondering where I pulled those statistics from with regards to my accuracy of ban list predictions. Well, let me tell you something. I made it the fuck up. Listen, this is still going to be pretty good, so let's begin with two ban lists I've handcrafted and formulated here. Number one, I'm going to give you my prediction. These are not cards that I agree with. These are not hits that I actually think would fix the game or anything like that. This is what I predict will happen, which is the big difference than what I want to happen. I know so many of you want things like Poplar and Bonfire Band, but spoiler, you know, based off of historically the patterns that Konami has shown, generally cards get reprinted, or at least the expensive cards don't get hit until much later. I'm not trying to put my tinfoil hat on or anything here, but it's really unlikely they're gonna ban Poplar, okay? It's very, I hate to burst that bubble of yours. So this is gonna be my prediction, and then I'll give you my wish list, which, it's gonna be a spicy one. All right, first of all, let's begin with Unlimited. I think that they will finally put Speedroid Terratop to 3. That card was recently put back in the last list to 2. Clearly did nothing. Speedroids are not the best deck. Burning Abyss is the best deck. It just doesn't have the right pilots. So hopefully when they realize that this card needs to come back to 3, it'll help boost the, you know, shall we say, consistency of Burn the Piss. Semi-limitations, last time they put Orcust Harp Horror to 1, finally! It only took like 4 or 5 years longer than it should have been. I love that they like to bring back cards way past their expiry date to the point that they are basically irrelevant. Irrelevant is a bit unfair. We have seen a couple of Orcust tops here and there at the regional level. I think we even saw like a regional top potentially from a Horus build. So, you know, the deck is pretty cool. And I think there's reason enough to buy Horus cards, huh? Harp enjoyers? So I think Harp Horror is going to go up to 2 in this next list, 2 or 3, something like that, alongside a Danger. I think they're finally going to bring back a Danger. Yes, the Jackalope, or Tsuchinoko, or both, who knows. I think the Dangers are, I don't want to say power creep, they're obviously really extremely good cards and powerful in their own right, but they're definitely not the cards they were in 2018, right? It's crazy to think that Jackalope is 17 years old. That is wild. So yeah, relatively small list. Let's move up to limitations. Limited to 1, I think that based off of the Master Duel success of Dragon Rulers. The cards are at 3 and they have done nothing. It's a Tomahawk Turbo deck with Auradon, none of which are in the TCG, so don't worry, there's nothing to worry about there. Yeah, like, it's fine. Like, these cards are useless, okay? Dragon Rulers can come back to 1, I guess. You know, I think Tidal is the one that's banned, so they're probably going to put Tidal to 1 here. Heck, maybe they'll just do the hop, skip, and jump and put them straight to 3. It doesn't really matter. But I think a Dragon Ruler is coming back now. Next up is... this one is a bit of a cope, but I think that they will probably look at the results and try and bring something up as a contender this format, potentially. But I think Kieran's coming back, okay? Stop laughing. Stop laughing. Stop. Like, listen, I genuinely think they're going to bring back Kieran. Listen, you can't put a card on the artwork of support cards. You can't make new Magispector cards with Kieran on the artwork and then just keep Kieran banned. How does that make any sense? So for these completely logical and reasonable reasons that I have outlined above and nothing to do with the gameplay relation of the deck itself, I think Kieran's going to come back to 1. All right, these next 2 hits are a little bit kind of part and parcel together. Snake Eye is obviously the elephant in the room. How do you hit Snake Eye? If we're following the logic that they're not going to ban expensive, high-rarity cards before they reprint them, etc., then this deck becomes really difficult to hit. Like, genuinely, it is so hard to hit this deck without outright killing it. Now, you either hit a bunch of the Fire King cards, which are structure deck cards, but even those are, like, relatively new. And even then, pure Snake Eye is still completely viable, and arguably, in my opinion, I think is the best version of the deck. So, there's 2 hits here that I think reins this deck in without hitting any of the new cards and upsetting people's wallets who invested a small loan from their bank to purchasing a deck. in Yu-Gi-Oh! A children's card game. And I think that is going to be the limitation of Snake Eye Ash and the banning of Jet Synchron. I think is probably the logical way that they are going to address this. It doesn't outright kill the deck. It arguably, to some extent, maybe doesn't even do anything. But again, I don't think they're going to try and aim to do anything crazy to this deck just before national season. I think a lot of people invested big money in this, and it would be a very, very bold move to hit a deck that hard just before the European Championship, the NAWCQ, and all of the various national championships in between. For that reason, I think, you know, gameplay aside, that makes sense in and of itself to not hit this deck that hard. So yeah, that's my complete and total prediction ban list for this upcoming list, but I'm sure you want to know what my wish list is. Now, realistically, my wish list is maybe like 50, 80 cards or something. Maybe we'll do a dedicated video for that in the future. But for now, let's keep it within the realms of, I don't know, not yapping for 2 hours. So again, these ones are the hits that I think are going to, would be good, and I think would be really nice this format, but it's not the extensive, you know, multiverse of Farfa wishlist and unbans and unlimits that he would like to have in the format, because the game would actually be good at that point. I joke. I don't. Alright, unlimited, I think Harp Horror should go straight to 3. There's no reason to just put it to 2. There's really basically no difference between 1 and 2 than there is to 0 and 1. Put it to 3. I think all of the dangers should go to 3. Those cards are basically a little bit behind their time at this point. What are you going to do? Make Tier Limit the best deck? Like, even then, you don't need the dangers in Tier Limit. And I think dangers in Tier Limit only really works really well when you had a bunch of good names to hit. Terratop, I think, should go straight to 3. I think I already did that in the prediction, but I think this one is also very likely. The Dragon Rulers, in my opinion, can all go straight to 3. I don't see an issue with that at all, for all the reasons that I mentioned previously. A little bit of an interesting one here. I think Sharvara should go back to 3. I don't know why this card was hit. Unchained was one of the coolest, well-designed decks I've ever played in Yu-Gi-Oh! And it was one deck that I really enjoyed. I think the DD Caesar King is, like, kind of oppressive and, like, really absurd. I'd rather see that card get hit than the consistency and viability of Unchained as a whole, because Sharvara offers you so much in way of, like, your combos, your consistency, and your ability to play through disruption. I think the deck is basically kind of dead on arrival right now. I have high hopes for this in Macedo, hopefully, but, you know, Maxi format, etc., etc. I think this card should just go back to 3. I don't see the issue with Sharvara. Limitations. All right, limited to 1. Fenrir. Fuck Fenrir. Holy crap. I hate Fenrir. I don't know if I might be the only person in the world like this, but whenever Fenrir gets summoned against me after I've put a couple of disruptions up on the field, if you've seen my vlogs, you probably understand what I'm talking about. Fenrir makes me a stupid person. I hate Fenrir. Fenrir, like, makes you throw, like, 3 disruptions at it because it attacks over something. It can deal with something with its effect. I hate Fenrir. I should ban this card, honestly, but, you know, limiting it is fine because maybe the 3 Cash Dealer players left in the world want to play with Fenrir. Premature Burial should go back to 1. Yeah, they did a bit of a funny oopsie with Snatch Steal 10 years ago. Turned out that they brought back Snatch Steal recently, didn't do anything. Wow, weird. Maybe we'll end up in a format where we can have, like, triple Snatch Steal, triple Change of Horror, huh? That'll be really funny. But for now, I think the equip of choice is going to be Premature Burial. I don't know if there's going to really be any viable Premature Burial loops with things like Power Tool, Dragon, or something like that. I doubt it, and I doubt it'll be even remotely meta. But hey, Premature Burial, maybe Infernoble can search it or something. Oh, wait, that's... They banned us all. They banned us all. Colossus to 1. As mentioned previously in the community Farfa ban list discussion and council that we had, you see, Colossus is a good floodgate. Protoss is a bad floodgate. So I think they should bring back the good floodgate in Colossus. Listen, buddy, it's your fault for searching with Snake Eye, okay? It's your fault that you bought Bonfire. I didn't force you to buy Bonfire, okay? That was you. And of course, limiting back the Kirin. Now, banning cards, you know, literally this list should have like 30 cards in my opinion, but let's stick to somewhat within the realm of possibility here. I think they need to ban Dimension Shifter. That card is, yes. Yep. Yippers. Woo! Anyway, and also keeping it in the family here. You know what I'm saying, brother? Dimension Barrier. Yeah, this is weird. I don't know, weird. It's almost as if, like, cards with the word Dimension in them should all be banned. No, Farfa, don't ban Dimension Alchemist. Yeah, D-Barrier, this one is probably late. I know it's not that necessary, but it's a problem card. It's annoying, and I think it shouldn't just be in the game at all. It was probably more bannable last format, but I think it should be banned regardless. Gimmick Puppet / Sanctifier Dragon. I don't know which one to do, because if you hit the Gimmick Puppet, they just replace it potentially with something like Edo. So I think probably banning Sanctifier Dragon is the best thing here. But hey, listen, I'll take the Gimmick Puppet. At least that one doesn't linger. All right, I've been yapping for a long time now. So thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Let me know what your favorite hits are on this list. And if there's anything you agree with or disagree with, I will be sure to look at the comment section and then Alt F4 and never read them again. Unban Verta, you cowards. I want Dragoon back in the game. Where's Dragoon, Konami? Where's Dragoon? Thank you everyone for watching, and until next time, subscribe to my Patreon and watch my Twitch streams. Bye!